Hi, it's Steve with Coin Stuff I Like. Bringing you another video. Sorry, it's been a while. I was away on a grand tour of Western United States national parks, but I came back and this coin was in my mail. It's a coin that I purchased at an auction at Coins Making Sense, which happens every Wednesday evening. I'll put the link to Coins Making Sense channel in the description of this video. But I got this one at auction, and I'm not a Buffalo nickel collector, although I do have a first year Buffalo nickel. It's an iconic design. I love it. Um, but this one was, at the auction was not getting a lot of action. It has an early NGC holder. It had some gold toning, MS66. So I said, well, heck, it's a bookend. This is the last year of the Buffalo nickel. So I said, I'll pull the trigger. And I got it for $74. Let's take a look at a little video, and then we'll come back with what I've learned by purchasing this coin. So yeah, very very nice. It's a very pretty coin. Has some gold toning, MS66. But um, I'm really happy to have it in my collection on that basis alone. But it's also um, forced me to learn a little bit more about the coin, the series, etc. Of course, we know that this is an iconic design by James Earl Fraser, and this is the last year. Denver was the only mint that produced Buffalo nickels in 1938. So it was the last of the series, and they minted 7 million of these things. Um, I was a little bit surprised that there's only 150,000 surviving in all grades, but then, of course, when you start thinking about these things that were used in commerce or heavily used, you lose the date on these, and so 150,000 all grades makes a little more sense. It's only 2% of the original mintage, but 80,000 survive in MS65 and higher, which is about it's near the top, if not the top, for survival in MS65 and higher in this series. And the reason for that is people knew this was the last year of the series, and so people probably put them away, uncirculated, and put them away as a sort of a keepsake for the series that it was going away. And that's why so many survive in relatively high grades. And it is a beautiful coin in the series. Also, this was the older holder attracted me to this coin as well. Besides the fact that it's 66 and has that gold toning, so the older holder, this holder, which has the appearance of the 1990 version, where they just added the hologram. The 1993, they changed it and added a barcode to the bottom on the obverse label. So this holder that this coin is in is somewhere between 35 and 33 years old. Um, that's the holder when it was graded. So that's pretty cool by itself. But you know that I like looking at the coins, looking for varieties, and I was surprised. This one was an over mint mark variety. This is from Variety Vista, over mint mark 005, which is also FS 515, 515. And you can see that here This is the easiest part, the lower loop of the S, but the upper loop of the S is in here. So it's a pretty easy one to pick up with this little remnant of the S, but you can actually see some other components of the S here. So it's an over mint mark FS 515. Now I looked up, I didn't see any NGC attributed FS 515s, but in PCGS there are attributed FS 515s. There's 65 of them are graded, only 35 in MS 66, and only 5 higher, 166 plus, 167, and 367 pluses. So, yeah, not many of these have been graded. I didn't check Annex. I know Annex has attributed FS 515, so I don't have those numbers, but I know that they have attributed them. I just didn't see anything from NGC. When you have an MS66 attributed FS 515 in a PCGS holder, the price guide value is listed as 450. Actually, sales go for in the 350 to 400 range for these FS 515s at MS 66. So a little, not quite price guide value, but pretty significant versus the 74 that I paid for this. And that, of course, the difference in actual sale prices versus price guide is not atypical. As a matter of fact, there is an MS65 that's currently on auction at Great Collections right now. So I'll put this link in the description of this video if you want to follow that particular auction. It's right now, the bid is at $288 for an MS65 PCGS attributed FS 515. And that auction has 10 days to go. So it's going to go higher than $288. That really gives me context for the 66 that I have, even though it's not attributed. By the way, when there have been sales of FS 515s that are unattributed, but the pictures are pretty obvious, there have been sales, but they usually go for somewhere in the mid to low $200 range. And that's because it doesn't have the attribution on the label, even though the pictures demonstrate that it is the correct variety. So when the attribution is on the label, you get a little bump. Not a little bump, a big bump between 200, say 250 and say $400 for MS66 attributed versus unattributed. That it pays the price to send it in and get it attributed, the fees and so forth, the value that you get back from it. So something to think about. Now, it is not the only over mint mark. Why? Well, because in 1938, they initially sent dies to San Francisco for production of the buffaloes, but they said, forget, San Francisco, forget it. We're sending you the Jefferson dies, because 38 was the first year of the Jefferson. So the dies were sent from San Francisco to Denver, and they did a little dye abrasion, but you can still see remnants of that S on 5 different dye varieties of over mint mark, because the transition to the Jefferson, and they had San Francisco refocus on the Jefferson and not do any buffaloes. So there are 5, and here are the PCGS population of attributed FS511 through FS515. And you can see that the 515 is at 65, as I said earlier, which is relatively, it's sort of in the middle of what's being shown on the population report. So actually, I was happy to have this coin just for the holder, just for the 66, the gold toning, a very pretty coin, and it serves as a bookend for the first year of the Buffalo in my collection. I don't have the series; I just wanted the bookends. But you add in that over mint mark variety, and man, this was a great acquisition for $74. So here's the question. I'm sort of leaning towards sending this in to get it attributed because it increases the value of the coin. I'm a little bit reluctant because I lose that holder, but I think the value is that you gain by getting it attributed is probably the way to go, even though I'm going to have to, give up that holder. So what do you think? Actually, in the comments, why don't you give me your feedback on, should I send it in, get it attributed, and since PCGS seems to be attributing these, is it PCGS the place to send it to? Just give me your opinion. I have mine, but I'd like to hear your opinion. Thank you for watching. Remember, buy stuff you like, but be smart about what you buy. We'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.